Jay Crawford, Adam the Bull, Garrett Bush, Tyvis Powell, Jason Lloyd. Plus, ba-da-da-da-da, you're loving him, Mikey McNuggets. And so many big names, it would take me hours to say all of their names. The ultimate Cleveland sports show starts now. Booyah!
We have made it to Friday. Hello again, Northeast Ohio and beyond. Welcome to the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. We've got 30 minutes of hot takes on the way. I'm Jay Crawford. Later in the program, we're going to try to answer the question, are the Guardians definitely buyers at the trade deadline? Tyvis.
I'm Tyvis Powell, and I'm going to tell you why Grant Delpit is better than the 22nd ranking he's got of safety in the NFL. G.
I'm G. Bush, and I can't believe that the Cavaliers are talking about Buddy Heild being the dream free agent. Are you serious? No, we got to talk about this. McNuggets.
Yeah, Christian McCaffrey is the official cover athlete for Madden 25, and I'm going to tell you why it should have been Myles Garrett.
Oh, a little hometown bias, perhaps.
100%.
You are.
right.
You've become a true Cleveland.
He has. He has become. He's not quite Kool-Aid G. Bush, but he's real close. Mikey is really in on all things Cleveland Browns. All right, we'll get to all those topics, but we're going to start with the NFL. And the Cleveland Browns, I think they have a roster that's ready for the season. Obviously, there are questions. Will the running back be back? Is he, is Nick Chubb going to be Nick Chubb? Is the new receiver going to be the answer? And also, we've got a wide receiver who's saying, hold on, I'm not happy with my contract. All that being said, of all the available free agents, is there still one out there that makes this team better, or are they good to go right now?
That's interesting. When you look at this team healthy and happy, if everybody's happy,
Okay, yeah.
you would think
Happy
that,
and paid.
Yeah, happy and paid. You would think that this roster is as good as anybody's. And I think you got to give Andrew Berry his credit for going out there. Not only are the starters good enough to go up against everybody, but they have depth at each position. So I would look at the roster and say that it's good, but I did have one little eyebrow raise that I had to bring to y'all attention.
Okay.
Last year at the beginning of the season when we talked about the receivers, we said we know for sure we got Amari Cooper. Elijah Moore, we're not really sure what we're going to get. And DPJ, we kind of
you thought you knew what we were going to get.
Yeah, don't bring that up. Yeah. Don't bring that up. I'm still not out on Elijah Moore. This is the year, baby.
All
but
right. Okay.
to get back
on that hill.
To get back and focus. When you look at this season, again, you know you got Amari Cooper.
We hope.
Happy and healthy. We know we got Amari Cooper. But you look at Elijah Moore, wasn't really there last year. And Jerry Jeudy, we think, but we don't. We're not quite sure what we're getting. So we're kind of in the same boat that we're in last year. So I thought to myself, if one of those guys got hurt and went down, would we be okay still playmaker-wise at wide receiver? And I'm not ready to answer that question as a definitive yes. So I thought of one receiver that's a free agent. He's 28. He'll be 29 this year. He has some experience with our quarterback.
Who are we getting?
He's a great route runner in the NFL. It's on record, him being one of the top route runners a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
His name is Hunter Renfrow.
Oh, wow. They played together at Clemson.
They played together at Clemson. I said he's not somebody that's going to break the bank, but if Jerry Jeudy, who is going to probably play the slot this year, if he went down, would you be comfortable with Elijah Moore? Would you rather have a guy like Hunter Renfrow?
His name came up last year. Remember, we thought that they
it.
might bring him in last year.
I like that. I like Hunter Renfrow. I like that. Earl, shout out to Earl. He mentioned this on 216. Michael Thomas is still out there.
Slim Michael Thomas.
Wow, I would love to have Mike.
I would take Mike. As Mike is healthy, Mike is guaranteed to get you at least 7 touchdowns.
That's
Big
right.
red zone threat.
So I like that. But I'm gonna go on the defensive side of the football. Listen, I like Justin Simmons. I like Jamal Adams. And what I plan on doing
I'm not big on Jamal anymore.
Here's what I'm gonna do.
You gonna put him at linebacker?
Yes.
Okay. I like Jamal Adams.
There you go. So I listen. You know, I'm all into the college football is coming out and the Madden is getting ready to see. What I always do is I put my DBs, my safeties at outside linebacker. So one of the things we're looking at, we got JOK, right? You brought in Devin Bush to see what he can do, right?
You got Jordan Hicks.
You got Jordan Hicks inside, see what he can. But I want to get a little creative. Give me a Jamal Adams and play him in the nickel, and I'm gonna just have him spying. I want him to rove around and spy.
So G knew off the field.
Well, no. We're gonna use him.
We're going down.
Yeah, we're going down.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna go down with that.
As long as he can handle the physical play that the box is and he makes the tackles, I'm fine with that. Listen, I'm a former DB. I always want more DBs on the field. If you can put 6 of them out there, please do it. Yeah. But I'm just telling you.
He's a good blitzer too.
He is a good blitzer. I'm just telling you, in that run game, if your D tackles, if they ain't fitting them holes right, it can be 88 not the gate.
That was kind of crazy. Go ahead, Jay.
See, I decided when Mike sent out the rundown and I saw this question, you know what? I'm not taking the bait this year. I'm not playing along.
Oh, yeah?
Because last year I dove in on this question. I'm like, I want this guy. I want this guy. Oh, we got to have this guy. And it's like making a Christmas list when you know parents ain't got the funds to get one present on that list.
Dang, you sound like my childhood.
So you get that JCPenney catalog and that Sharpie and you're like, I'll take that. Give me the G.I. Joe with the Kung Fu grip. Give me the Ford Apache. I want the big wheel. I want the big wheel with the power brake.
And the Joe Montana helmet.
I want all of it. And then Christmas Day comes, you're like, listen,
none of that.
Nothing. And you look under the tree.
Nothing.
And none of that stuff's under the tree.
So nobody.
I'm being realistic.
The roster is good.
The roster is what the roster will be. This is it. We know what it is. There were times to make those moves. And look, if a guy goes down, or if there's a receiver 3 that struggles, there's going to be a Hunter Renfrow that may still be available and out there. But once the season starts, after cutdowns, and week 1 is, week 1 is in the books. Mm-hmm. Hay's in the barn.
Yeah, it's kind of difficult.
I mean, maybe with the exception of kicker, you might be able to go out and find a decent kicker, but you're not going to go out and find a serviceable wide receiver at week 2. It's very slim. So I'm not going to get my hopes up. I've decided that my new mantra is, I love that receiver room. I love it. Because I was told last year, the whole season, we love the receiver room.
Love it.
And I'm looking at it going, they're looking at a different room than I'm looking at.
Wait a minute. Joe Flacco had that room going.
Joe ain't here anymore. And he ain't walking through that door. Who signed Joe Flacco?
Colts.
The Colts, yes.
All right. Okay.
Moving on from free agents, Jay, to safety rankings. PFF did its top 32 for each position group heading into next season. And when they came to the safeties, Grant Delpit's name was a little lower than I think we all anticipated him being. Here's their top 10 safeties, and you'll notice Grant Delpit's not in the top 10. Antoine Winfield was number 1, Kyle Hamilton 2, Jesse Bates 3, Minkah Fitzpatrick 4, 3 AFC North safeties 2, 3, 4, Marcus Williams 5, actually 4 AFC North safeties in the top 5, 6 through 10, Javon Holland, Derwin James, Xavier McKinney, Kyle Duggar, and Tyrann Mathieu. And then Grant Delpit comes in the 20s, Steve.
Dang.
20 was Geno Stone, 21 Cameron Curl. Grant Delpit comes in at 22. Trevor Moehrig of the Raiders at 23, and Jimmy Ward of Houston at 24. Tyvis, you are a resident DB. You played the position. 22, too high, too low, or just right for Grant Delpit?
The only reason I think first of all, the season he was having before the injury, he would have been way better than that because he was balling. He made plays, picks. He was making tackles. He was actually a guy that was noticeable. He stood out as a consistent DB, and that's the thing I liked about him. Even when Joe Woods was there that one year, he was one of the leading tacklers on this team. He should be better than 22. The only reason that I think PFF got him there is because he missed so much time last year due to the groin injury. I think obviously this season he will be much higher than all of those because, one, he's a very motivated guy. I remember last year when I went to OTAs, he gave us something in practice. He couldn't even go in the building. He had to stand outside and look at the film right there to get it right. So this guy is motivated to be great. That's what I love about him. He don't want to just be good. He's not satisfied with trying to be just a Pro Bowl. This guy want to be all pro. So he got the right mindset. I think Jim Schwartz kind of missed him a little bit last year. I think he'll use him perfectly this year. And we'll see number 9, because he switched his number, make a ton of plays out there on the field because he has the intangibles to be a great tackler. He's a great ball catcher. He understands offenses and what they're trying to do, that he's able to make adjustments on the field. I go back to the Pittsburgh game where he had the pick. He was able to undercut something, called the guy off, undercut a pick. The quarterback had no idea he was going to make that play. He makes a big play, and he almost takes it to the house. So I like him.
The reason they got him so low is because he had that nasty number. That number
22?
That 22 is nasty.
You know what? It's
So
something,
he's automatically up the list now as
something,
number 9.
It's something about a single digit.
Man,
But you
listen,
better pull it off.
I don't care what he had to do, beg, barter, steal to get that single digit because he was looking that work. That's almost having like a 46.
22 is not bad.
I mean,
first of all, I'm not gonna let you say that because when I was with the Cleveland Browns for a cup of tea, I wore 22. So you take back what you said.
That's like having 46.
No, it ain't.
Did you make the team that year?
Shut up.
No,
That was uncalled for. I don't even know why I did that. I guess I just did it to make the point.
I mean, damn, Skip.
I know. 'Cause I love me some Tyvis Powell. And that's out of my character. I apologize.
Hey,
He ain't seen me in a couple of weeks.
I thought he
he'd
said
have had it saved up.
he went right to your life points. I'm like, damn.
I like how quick he was like, shut up.
He and Grant Delpit,
my God.
he got to be on the field, dog. I think if he stay on the field all year, he'll have better numbers. He'll get up
for
there.
sure.
Yeah, I think it's appropriate, but he's way better than 22.
Yeah.
How deep did they go with the list, Mike?
To 32.
Okay, so it was they could have gone to 64, right?
Yeah, there's 64 starting safeties.
So we know he's in the upper half.
Yep.
And that's fair. We even know he's probably like in the 40th percentile, 38th percentile. Thing of it is, what's the biggest part of ability? Availability. And so because of that, I get it. Out of sight, out of mind. But PFF has been dead to me for a long time.
Me too.
I'm not going to really kick dirt on him, though, for this. Like, I do understand it. But to your point, he is a hard worker. He is driven to be great. And because of that, I think Grant Delpit, this is a little dramatic because JOK came from the hinterlands.
Yeah, he did.
But Grant Delpit could be this year's JOK. And by that, I mean a guy that sort of was off the radar because he wasn't on the field. When he was there, he was balling out.
He was.
But if he stays healthy, he's going to be to the 24 Browns what JOK was to the 23 Browns. I think that
Bold prediction.
It is a bold prediction, but that's what I'm here for, Tyvis. That's why I sit here. All right, here's a good question. Myles Garrett did not end up on the cover of Madden 24. That distinction went to, and it seems to always go to the running backs or the offensive guys, but Christian McCaffrey wins as the cover boy for the next year's Madden video game. Did they get that wrong, guys?
It's hard to argue. Didn't he led the league in touchdowns scored? Everybody loves offensive players.
See, so we all think they got it right. I think we got to go to McNuggets then because McNuggets in the open said that we got it wrong. I'm okay with it. McCaffrey is head and shoulders that dude.
When healthy.
I don't have an issue with McCaffrey being on. I think it's a solid choice. I just think Myles was the right choice, and here's why. There hasn't been a defensive player on the cover of Madden in a decade.
I know.
The last one, 2015. Tyvis, you remember who that was?
Don't tell me it was Richard.
It's your boy Richard Sherman.
Oh
he
my
was the
God.
last
the worst
defensive
Madden
player.
the worst Madden there probably was.
Wow. Going in on your boy.
But there hasn't been a defensive player to be the cover athlete for Madden since 2015. It's been a decade. There was a defensive resurgence in the NFL last year. Defense was back.
It was.
Yeah,
And there was no bigger face of that defensive resurgence than the defensive player of the year, which was Myles Garrett. The Browns are on the come up. Defense is evolving on an everyday basis. Mahomes has already got 2 covers. Lamar would have been a good choice if they wanted to go that direction, but he had already been on a cover.
Right.
Myles is a guy who is a unique character in the NFL. He has charisma, and I think he's a guy who's very marketable. And I understand McCaffrey. It's not a bad choice. I just think Myles Garrett was the right
Okay,
choice.
that's a valid point. It really
is.
is, because no one made the case for defense last year more than me. I kept preaching from the mountaintops, guys, we're seeing the league evolve right before our eyes. The decade prior, it was all about offense. I go back to that Bills-Chiefs game, one of the best games I've ever seen. The Bengals and Chiefs games were fantastic. Those were shootouts.
Yeah.
But the adjustments have been made. General managers and front offices have put more resource into the defensive side of the ball.
As they should.
Because the offense was dominating. However, Mike, I think this was year one of what's going to continue to be a cycle. And then it'll wash, rinse, and repeat, and offense will take over again. But we're at the front edge of that wave of defense. So I think it's still a little too early to put a defensive guy on the cover. Maybe in a few years.
If Aaron Donald went on the cover, Myles Garrett.
That's
a
fact.
great point.
That's a fact.
Yeah, if ever we're going to put a guy on the cover, it would have been Aaron Donald.
And he retired. They could have put him on there for like.
And there's only a couple other guys. Troy Polamalu was on the cover. Your boy Ray Lewis was on the cover. You got to be all time. Not saying that Myles Garrett won't get there, but
I don't look at Richard as all time.
It'll give him something to shoot for next year.
Yeah.
We know how much he loves to set a goal and reach it.
There you go.
All right, we're taking a break. When we come back, who is the Cavs' dream free agent? Is it this guy?
This is crazy.
The answer's next. All right, welcome back to the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. We're turning to the NBA. We've tried to do this topic a couple times, Mike, I think in the last couple of weeks. There was a report by Bleacher Report that Buddy Heild of the Sixers, a nice player, would be the dream free agent signing this offseason for the Cleveland Cavaliers. And before we answer that, I would just say this. Oftentimes, it is guys like this that do make differences on teams that are close. I'm not saying he's the guy, but you're not going to add a superstar to this roster. That's not going to happen. So it's got to be someone in that sort of second tier, and I think Heild is there. And, gee, if I talk any more about Buddy Heild, I'll have to wake you up.
Man, this is crazy, man. You know what I was over here doing, man? I was like, man, I got to pay bills. You know what I'm saying? I might need to get my car washed. I think I need to get my tuxedo fixed up and let in. Those are all of the things that I think about when people mention Buddy Heild.
Why?
That is self-checked. Like if this, I'm watching the juggernaut. Boston Celtics go out here and dismantle Luka and Kyrie.
Whoa.
Dismantle. They're getting dismantled right
fair.
now.
That's
And
not fair to say.
I'm like,
It's 3-0.
and I'm like, so we gonna add Buddy Heild to the core four and we ready to go?
When you put it that way, it is. You make a point.
The core four goes to Fantastic Five.
That's marketing, y'all. And Kobe Altman talk to Tyvis.
The thing I
The
would
Fab
say,
Five has already been taken.
Buddy is a great shooter. I mean, if you want somebody to come off the bench, obviously he's a great shooter. But the problem is, it's like Strus. You asking a guy that's 6'4", now he's going to play the 3. He's going up against guys that's 6'8", 6'9", and we're just going to be an undersized team for the rest of the year. Like I wouldn't consider him a dream free agent.
Dream?
But yeah, that is crazy.
Yeah,
but,
dream is a strong word.
But he can provide some shooting off the bench. That I will give you, but that's not a dream scenario. That's just a guy that they'd be nice if they went out and picked him up.
Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a service to our viewers. Mikey McNuggets has forgotten more about basketball than I know. So I'm going to pass on this because I think he's a serviceable player that could fill a role. Dream is a strong word, but I really want your opinion.
He's going to lend his rest of his time to the senator from New
yield
Jersey.
my time to the gentleman from New Jersey.
I appreciate that, Jay. Steve Becker, our EP, just texted us and said, since 2019-2020, Buddy Heild has made the most threes in the NBA with 1,320.
Is that true?
He just texted me. I'm just
Now,
reading the text.
what I like about Buddy is Buddy is for the people. Buddy got that video where that dude needed one more three or 2 points.
Yes, that's a fact.
Buddy checked himself back in the game
And hit a three.
And hit a 3 for him, and the man got paid. So he is the people's champ.
Yeah, that was an all-time epic move.
To answer your question, though, Jay, when you look at the Cavs and their needs, I think we can cross off a 6'3", 6'4" guard as a need for this team. They don't need another undersized
that's true.
2 guard. Now, with that being said, They only have the mid-level exception to work with. And there's not a ton of wings who will fit into that category. So I would not call Buddy Heild a dream scenario.
But he could fit here.
He could fit.
Okay.
I like Nick Batum more if we're looking
Yeah.
at guys in that mid-level exception range on the wing who has more size and more defensive versatility.
You know who I
because
like?
Buddy Hield's a turnstile, and he's 6'4", and we saw what happened when you try to put 6'4" guys against Boston's wings.
No, it's not going to work.
It does not end
No,
well.
it will not work.
You know
He's
who I like?
Size.
He's not a nightmare, but he's not a dream.
I got
Okay.
a name.
like
I got a
that. I
name
like
for
that.
you, McNuggets.
Shoot.
Imani Bates.
Talk to him.
All right,
That's
we're
what we
taking a
need.
break here on the Ultimate Cleveland
Imani
Sports Show.
Bates.
There you
We'll
go.
talk
There you
serious
go.
sports when we come back. I can't believe you went there. I
Imani
really-
Bates. He's what is he? 6'7", 6'8"?
Are the
Shoot the
Guardians
lights off the
buyers
ball.
at the trade deadline next month? That debate is next. Tyvis, I used to like you. Welcome back to the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. Hope you're getting ready for a fantastic Father's Day weekend. Take a little bit of time this weekend and remember all of the dads out there who give so much for the next generation. Okay, the Guardians, 44-23. We had GM Mike Chernoff on the YouTube show earlier today, and I asked him point blank, are you going to be buyers? He basically confirmed everyone's notion that they're going to do everything they can. In fact, he said he's going to be on the phone with teams beginning today and going right up to the trade deadline, trying to make this team better. Do you think they're going to make the right moves, big moves, to stay contenders?
I think that the right moves, or I don't know about big, the right moves is pitching, maybe shortstop, or maybe outfield, one of the two.
Yeah.
But pitching in one of those two.
I think we're okay right now in the outfield.
One of those two, I'm totally fine with it. But right now, Tyler Freeman's doing a really good job out there.
He's been amazing.
Yeah, and Quan, obviously, the outfield they doing what I thought they would be doing.
We could still use a consistent power bat
The,
and right.
the shortstop position is the one, and
the big
Rocchio is probably batting better than Gabby right now. So if they want to go get, everybody keep throwing this Bo Bichette name out there. If they go get him,
I don't think they're out of it. I think
they not. Yeah, they actually that's who we play.
Listen, Lively's been doing this thing. They need a couple arms, right? They can't, they need to get guys to give him, 5 or 6 innings solid. They can't even get to the 6th inning. And McKenzie scares me. He just be scaring me. Like they're hitting the ball extremely hard against him, and it looks like he's not completely healthy. They need another couple arms. I don't know if they'll get a big name, but I think they'll get a couple arms.
I think they're definitely in the market. I think they will definitely make deals. The question is, who are they willing to part ways with? Daniel Espino has been one of their best pitchers in the pipeline forever. He can't stay healthy, so he's not a chip. I have questions like this, and I know that this is going to raise some eyebrows, but is Bo Naylor a chip? Bo's hitting around $170.
Yeah.
I think his trade value is less today than it was 2 years ago when he was a hot prospect. But we've seen what he is. Now, can he turn a corner? I hope. He's a hardworking guy. I love him. I think he's a great guy. But I don't know. That you can't keep rolling that out there every day on a team that you think is a championship team. So catcher, shortstop with Rocchio. Again, are they ready to move on from these guys? Do they want to move them down to the minor leagues? I don't know. But where you improve this team is not one arm, but two. You need a starter. The bullpen is running on thin rubber right now. They've used these guys way too much. That comes back to bite you in August. If this team gets dead arm, the bullpen in August, you can watch them lose 17 of 30 like that, and you can fall out of a race real quick. You're going to need depth in the bullpen. I don't know what Karinchak's deal is. I haven't heard anything on him. Hopefully he's ready to come back soon. And Gavin Williams is coming, so that helps. But I'd be in the market for a pitcher or two. I would be in the market for a shortstop. And I think at catcher, your answer is Fry. You just put David Fry in there if you move on from Bo Naylor. But Rocchio, Naylor, and Arias are pieces that I wouldn't be shocked if they move. But at the same time, I don't think I expect them to do it. But if they do it, I think it makes the team a lot better because we're going to need pitching help. Gavin Williams is still getting stretched out in AAA. we need to see what he is when he comes back. And I'm with you on Tristan McKenzie. Gosh, the other night he gave up 2 hard hit balls to center field that, if not for great plays out there by Freeman, that game ends differently.
Would you move DeLauder or Manzardo?
I would not move Manzardo. No, Manzardo. I've seen enough from him to know that he's the real deal. He's gonna, I think he had more doubles over the last 30 games than anybody in baseball, including Aaron Judge. That's nuts.
Well, David Fry is better than Aaron Judge, so look at the numbers.
Okay.
All right.
Very good.
All right, Tyvis. Glad having you on, Tyvis.
Yeah. Right now, I'll take David Fry. We're out of time. Make it a great weekend. The Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show will be back Monday. We will see you then. Happy Father's Day to all the dads.
Happy Father's Day. Peace.